Sadiq Khan in the surrounding boroughs of London Heathrow Airport, you are, mate, completely and utterly taking the piss. $750,000 aviation fuel, and a bloke runs his little 1300 diesel Fiesta. Yeah, you want his money. That is taxing, greedy, and taking the piss. Hello, welcome to Christy TV, straight talking YouTube channel. I'm back on the ULEZ and the Sadiq Khan trail. Yeah, you remember I did the piece then last week about the Blade Runners and the Gypsy fraction of the Blade Runners and their methods. Yeah, well, I've been looking into it. I've been doing some research, and I think there's 32 boroughs across London, and I can't speak for the other 28, but you know, you have the saying where you look after your own house, if you like, yeah? Take care of your own business. And the boroughs that affect me are all the ones surrounding Heathrow, all those London boroughs. And I've lived in and worked in all of those boroughs all my life. I'm born and raised, born in Isleworth, London Borough of Hounslow. I lived there and now live in London, work in the London Borough of Hillingdon. So I either work or have lived or worked in all the boroughs surrounding Heathrow Airport. And the penny's just dropped. We've got some great athletes from the London Borough of Hounslow and the Feltham Stadium. Again, the London Borough of Hounslow, an athletic club and stadium. There've been some great athletes we've had from there. And the breathing hasn't stopped us just yet. But let me explain to you why I think Sadiq Khan is completely and utterly 1,000,000% taking the piss out of the London boroughs surrounding Heathrow. I took a trip in there and this is what I found. So yeah, air pollution, we're in an air pollution area. In fact, have a look how far I'm standing from it, look. That's an air pollution camera, an APR. A little old car coming in down like 40 to the gallon, 12, 13, 14 plate, doing a couple of miles. You know, some of these planes are still running on full lead. It's amazing really, isn't it? Can you see why they're antagonised and getting upset? 1,000 gallons. Yeah, approximately on and around takeoff. Yeah, and that's not including landing every 45 seconds. So these ULEZ blokes at work, look, they've maybe had enough for today. But before we go, we must see another takeoff. Oh, here we go, look. Another one. They just don't stop. Planes are on full lead. Governor, trying to get a word with somebody working for TFL, but they're not compliant. Just thought they might have a word. And that bloke's filming us. We're now filming him. See if we can have a word with the gentleman. We're just wondering, we're working with Christy TV, we're running the ULEZ campaign. We wonder if you could have a word on what your opinion on it is in places like here, Heathrow.
You don't even work for transport.
You're not? Are you private? You think they're doing right? I mean, there's 1,000 litres on these planes on takeoff.
We don't work for them. We don't work for
private.
transport.
Do you agree with them?
Not really, no.
Good man. Well, that's what we like to hear. Go on, son. Keep it up. There's a guy that working privately for TFL, but don't work for them. You hear it for yourself. He says you don't agree with them. Neither do I. Having come here today, I was on the fence, is it clean air and all that, but I've just come to Heathrow today and totally changed my mind. As an guy, he's driving a TFL van, and one says no comment and one says he don't agree with them. Charging somebody £12.50 to go in a place where they're burning 1,000 gallons every 45 seconds. And I must say, some of that fuel is still leaded. And even the unleaded still contains a chemical that still has lead in it. Although it's called unleaded, it still has some lead. These are still chemicals, you know, used in the air. 1,000 gallons every 45 seconds. And they had the cheek to park the camera here. And I wonder why they moved. They declined to talk, except they agreed and they moved it. Anyway, that's it. So I've done some fairly accurate research. Of course, as you would expect, being an Heathrow businessman and lived around there all my life, I have many friends that work there at all manner of positions, and approximately 720,000 gallons. So we're talking almost, give or take, 750,000 gallons of aviation fuel around those boroughs per every day. Every single day, nearly 750,000 gallons of aviation fuel. And did you know, not all aviation fuel is unleaded. Some of it still is very much leaded. Fact, some engines still very much, and especially on the bigger planes, run on full lead fuel. Now, let's just use 750,000. It's nearly the figure, and it sounds right. Nearly, give or take, 750,000 gallons each day. Surely, the air pollution, this is only on takeoff. It tenfolds that for the first 10 minutes in flight. This is just on takeoff and landing and on the runway. A bloke comes up, a little 1300 diesel car, trying to go about his business, getting a living. Goes past at 12.5 quid. The mother's collecting the kids from school, 12.5 quid, so on and so on. You're telling me they want clean air and they have the cheek and the audacity to charge people in these boroughs. Now, I'm on the team of the other 28 as well. I'm not against you, I'm just saying the four surrounding boroughs of Heathrow, they have the cheek and audacity to charge for your little vehicle because you're polluting clean air when there is 750,000 gallons of aviation fuel per day. A bloke does 35, 40 to the gallon in his little van or his car, and he does about 2 mile circle, but sometimes not even that, just circles it by half a mile. But he does a couple of miles, yeah? And they have the cheek to say that we want cleaner air for London, we want to charge £12.50. So I just want to end by saying, Sadiq Khan, in the surrounding boroughs of London Heathrow Airport, you are, mate, completely and utterly taking the piss. Even one of your staff members agreed that it was not right. Sadiq, mate, if you're watching, you're taking the piss. I can't speak for all the other boroughs, but I can speak for my own. I can look after my own house. And you are taking the piss. You might be taking the piss on all the others, but you, Sadiq Khan, are taking the piss out of everybody around those surrounding boroughs. 750,000 aviation fuel. And a bloke runs his little 1300 diesel Fiesta. Yeah, you want his money. That is taxing, greedy, and taking the piss. You cannot legislate for that. You cannot want money to keep the air clear around Heathrow when that's going on. You cannot. Sorry, mate, you are completely... Yes, enough said. Sadiq, mate, not going to vote for you. You're going to be out next year.